America has always been like the focal point of performance motorcycles. There's manufacturers all over the world that make really high quality products, and they view America as like the pinnacle market where the highest performance bikes sell the best. And the American riders just love high performance, they love styling, they love quality, they love reliability. And you see that manufacturers all over the world come to the American market to really hone their bikes and have the highest performance bikes here in the marketplace. There are other parts in the world that have a lot of volume, but in America, the riders want high performance, they want style, they want it all. So knowing that Buell was the performance bike of America, it really showed that there's an opportunity for Buell to come back and relaunch in the American marketplace to be the pinnacle of American performance motorcycles, and to be here for a long time, to come back with a variety of products that can be something that we can sell around the world, that we can be proud of, and that America can be proud of, that can have fan clubs all over the world growing and riding a really cool American product that's built here in Michigan. Performance, reliability, great handling, beautiful frames, great braking systems, great wheels. Buell was always known as using an engine that was already an architecture that was there, has always been part of the DNA of Buell, taking that engine, making it better performance, and then designing a beautiful chassis around it that has great handling, that can be great on a racetrack, that can be fun on curvy roads, that has really cool styling, braking systems, wheels that are light, that are high performance, and that is part of the DNA of Buell that we want to stay true to have American products, American components, and beautiful styling, beautiful handling, something that you can own the curves, something that you can pull up, to wherever your destination is, and people are like, man, that's awesome. They build that in America. That's really cool. Before we got the trademark back, we knew we were going to get it back. We had good attorneys, and we were talking to the trademarks office, and we knew that there was an opportunity to get the trademark back. So started brainstorming, what can we do to build around this really high performance V-twin engine, which is a beautiful platform to build from. So started looking at different variations we could do with the engine, and a high performance cruiser was always something in the back of my mind as something that would be really awesome to launch. American styling, American cruiser with a high performance frame and high performance race components that we already had in the package of what we had with the company. So in doing that brainstorming, really thought that there's a handful of designers that would probably be best to create the design, but I thought Roland was the best person. So we had been going back and forth on doing some custom builds, and I sent him a text and said, hey, are you ready to design a cruiser? And he's like, oh yeah, like a custom one-off. And I said, no, we want to do a production version that we can turn into a production bike, but that has beautiful styling with an American tube frame, really classic, cool looking gas tank, but we want to use our high performance race components on the rest of the bike. So we jumped on a call. I remember it was a Friday night late. He was probably still dragging in the office. I was already out of the office. And we chatted for probably 20 minutes about this idea and how we wanted to use our high performance components, that American tube frame, American style gas tank, really like a hot rod performance cruiser. And he said, I think I got an idea. So that was it. Somewhere probably 2 weeks later, late on a Friday again, he just shot over a concept image. And when I saw it, I knew it was the right design. It was absolutely beautiful. It was tight, it was compact, it had our performance components, so you knew that it had 180 horsepower, had a beautiful swing arm that's gonna have great handling, it had our race wheels, race brakes, but he styled it really minimalistic and as a hot rod. And it's really, if you put the original concept against the design that we have now, it's the same bike. It took a lot of time to go through that. We worked out, the terms of a contract, worked out the timeline, worked out what components would be our components for Buell, what components could be new components, set some specifications on seat height, and went through all of that. But once they got back to the art of the design, they really landed on a design that was beautiful, really stylish gas tank, really stylish frame. And then our job from there, as we went and reverse engineered it and turned it into a production bike, was to make sure that we kept that beauty of the styling and the minimalistic styling and the performance that we already had in that design, to make sure it was more durable, make sure it was ready for production, make sure that it meets all the legal specifications that we need with the different regulatory bodies, and that we can build it here in the US. And that's what we did. So it's exciting moving to where we're at now. We've really built out a big team here in Michigan. We've grown over 50 people now. We are going to continue to be growing our personnel over the next year. It'll be really cool, being in Daytona next year, being in Sturgis next year, seeing a lot of super cruisers rolling around town. That was a lot of work, a lot of team effort, a lot of great people working on this program, and it's cool that it's here now. First revealing the concept at Roland's shop was pretty exciting. We had planned to do a small party and bring in a little bit of media, and the media came. We did some interviews. They left, and it's kind of what you thought, how it would be. But then the public came in, and Roland came riding in on it, revving it up, and it was like the core of the market in the Long Beach. There's so many core riders down there that love performance cruisers, and they're always spending money making them lighter, faster, better handling, customizing them. So it's really like the hot rod market of motorcycles there. It always has been. And that group just dove onto the bike and was super excited about it. And it just took off virally from there. The people that were there from the media never even had a chance to do their articles. They never even had a chance to put out their media. The core of the market, all the riders and the people that are really dedicated to performance cruisers, just went crazy with it. And Roland ended up doing burnouts, and the fire department came in, and we had a really fun night. But like right away you could see that like the people that really cared, the people that really want something like this product, were there, and they were excited about it, and they were sending it out virally all over the internet. It went wider than we could have imagined. We had opened up pre-orders for $50, just give us some indication of if people like it and they want it. And the next morning, wake up, look at it, and they're just shooting off. The pre-orders were just going crazy. It was like, holy crap. We knew it was a cool bike. We knew it was really beautiful and had great lines and great performance. But you could see that the customers wanted it. So it really caused a recalibration for everything that we were doing in the factory here. I think at that point we were like 15 people maybe, and we just recalibrated everybody to the Super Cruiser. We got to get this out into production. We got to get it launched. We got to bring on more people, and it was time to get serious. As a relaunched company, we were unveiling concepts to see where the interest was. When we unveiled the Super Cruiser, there was so much interest so quickly. We realized that, they want to see the bike. They want to see what the development was. But at that point, all we had was a hand-built artist's concept that had been built by Roland and his team. We had to reverse engineer it. We had to do a whole bunch of testing, a whole bunch of CAD, a whole bunch of validation, working with suppliers. There was a ton of work to do. So we mapped out the full development timeline, which was, a little over 2 years to do that. And we realized the best way to keep engagement with the customer was to let them know what we're doing, right? So if we just went dark for 2.5 years and came back and said, hey, we start production next month, they probably would have, had a lot of questions of what was going on. So we decided to have it be an open process, to let them know, here's what we're doing. We're reverse engineering the CAD so that we have the CAD. Then you had to go and design all the parts off of that. You had to make sure everything fit. And so basically from summer of 23 through Daytona of 24, we were designing all the CAD and all the fitment and shapes and getting the supply chain ready, getting prototypes together, and came to Daytona with the first prototype. From that point, we wanted the customers to know that this is a beautiful bike, but it still needed some tweaks. The seat was probably 3.5 inches higher than Roland's seat. Some of the styling wasn't correct on the fuel tank. Some of the performance of the cooling system and some of the components still needed some tweaking. So we wanted them to know that we're going through prototype 1, prototype 2. Prototype 2 came through really well. We had it ready 6 months later for Sturgis, and we have been growing our team in doing that second prototype. We also found some things that we needed to adjust, some things we needed to tweak. In that process, we also were able to identify that we could design a fully internal Fox high-performance suspension that is truly a better suspension than Öhlins. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it handles well, it's built in America. And we were able to rework with all these suppliers the way that the bike's going to go together. We had a few changes on the frame from version 2 to version 3, a few little things with the cooling system, some components. You shift the frame, you shift the bracket, you got to move like 3 other components 2 millimeters to make them fit, so that when they hit the assembly line, everything goes together and goes down the line. So that's where we're at now. The version 3 is the final version. It's a beautiful bike. We've been riding the heck out of them. There's a lot of endurance testing going on right now, final testing, and making sure that everything's ready, and it is. So it's exciting. The easiest thing is third time's the charm. It really is. Buell's back. We got a great team. We got a great support network. We've got support coming from the U.S. government with some SBA support. We've had support from the state of Michigan with the MEDC. We got a great community of people in West Michigan that are supporting our growth. And we've been able to do it our way, which is high quality and high performance, and really establish that Buell is the performance motorcycle of America. You can understand where there's people who are like, Buell had some things in the past, but most of those things in the past were caused by other owners who had a say in what they were trying to do at the factory. And one thing that's been important to me is to maintain majority control of the company, which I've done. I've had really good supporters who want to see that path come to fruition, and we've been able to do it our way. So I love to take in all the consensus of the people in our building, our factory, our team, take in everyone's consensus and help pick the direction of where we're going. And we don't have outside people who are not here giving insight and direction that don't fit what we're doing. So we're on the path, the right path, and we've been able to do it our way, which is high quality, high performance, and really cool. The production of the Super Cruiser represents a lot for me. The best thing it represents is the ability to give the American riders and consumers the product that they want. When you look back at all the things I learned growing up about different motorcycles, the hot rod motorcycles of the 40s and the 30s was really a pinnacle in American motorcycling. And now we're able to give them that back, where they can ride an American motorcycle and say, this thing is cool. This thing is beautiful. It's high performance. It can do everything you want. It's not just a cruiser. It's a performance race bike. You can cruise on it. You can tour on it. You can put bags on it. So it's a very versatile platform that we've designed. And it's exciting to me to be starting production, giving that bike to the customer, letting them have the bike they want so they can go enjoy it. And then from there, I'm super excited to see what they do with it, because there's so many great people out there that want the bike that are going to do some really unique things with it. To see that hit the market and see them go do their thing with it and then see all the different stuff that's going to be happening, it's going to be exciting. Some people design things and they say, I don't want anyone to change it. I made the perfect design and I don't want anyone to mess it up. Why would they change that fender? Why would they change that brake system? We want people to change it. We want people to customize it. This is a platform that every rider can make their own, and it's exciting to be giving that to them here. I think the most important thing for everyone to understand about the new chapter of Buell is that it's really customer focused. It's really about us as a team here at Buell listening to what the customers want and giving it to them. There's a quote from Steve Jobs about, the customer doesn't always know what they want. We're going to give it to them. But I think if you go down to the root cause of what he's saying when he said that, is that the people that are there making the products understand a lot about all the different things that happen in the products. And the customer might not know exactly what they want, but if you listen to the customer and hear what they like at the factory, we can design new things that they're going to love. So I think that's really an exciting thing as we're coming out with new products. Super Cruiser is one of them, and we're working on other ones too. We get to listen and talk to people, and I love going to Daytona and Sturgis and bike events and not having a Buell outfit on and just talking to people about, what do you like about your bike? And you pick up those tidbits and you talk to people in the building about what other people ride and what they want in their bike and in their performance. And then we get to bring that all together, distill it down to a beautiful product that they're going to love. And so I think what's really exciting about the future is the next products we get to do are going to be like a Super Cruiser. They're going to be in different markets. They're going to be in different product segments, but we're going to listen to what people like. We're going to distill it down into something very cool and stylish and performance driven that's built in America. It's built in Michigan, but being able to take in all that consensus of the customers, the people and experts in the building and create new cool products is what's exciting about the future.